Okay, here we are then, back at COP28, back within the blue zone of COP28 on a crucial day of the summit. This is the day that focuses on finance and gender equality. And that latter point is a really critical one, and it's often an area that's overlooked at summits like this. Many of the female voices are marginalised, particularly at the top level of government and businesses. So I'm delighted to be shining a spotlight on that today on edie. And I'm joined to discuss that by Stephanie Akrumah, who is the director for the Centre for Green Growth based in Ghana and a climate activist as well. Stephanie, hello. Talk to us a little bit about the work, that fantastic work that you're doing with the Centre for Green Growth.
Thank you very much, Luke. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that you're having this discussion. First and foremost, the Centre for Green Growth is an NGO that is focused on adapting people to the effects of climate change, especially the people that are located in Africa. Our job and our goal and the mission for the next few years, up to 2030, is to be able to adapt 1 million people to the effects of climate. This means that we're looking at adaptation initiatives that benefit people on the grassroots. This means that we are looking at resilience building initiatives. We're looking at very vulnerable groups, women, youth, the people that are mostly left out of the conversation, the people that need to know about the conversation, the people that need to have that conversation done that affects their lives. So that's literally what we are focusing on. Yes, and we're doing this in collaboration with so many other people. We are still open to collaborating with more people, because we're running out of time, essentially. The climate change space, it's not about an initiative that everybody just talks about. It's about something that affects people's lives and livelihoods. And we have a timeline, we have a deadline. So because of that, we need to put our goals out there. And to give you some perspective of what the Centre for Green Growth is doing, 1 million is a very minute number from the people that we can do, because the population in Africa is in billions. So if we are doing 1 million, it's like we're a little drop in the ocean. But we're hoping that over time, other people would join the initiative and be able to do more up there, yeah.
Yeah, and you say time is running out, and it's clearly not moving fast enough, particularly at discussions like COPs. You might have seen the damning report that came out from Care International just this week, which revealed that I think 38% of all COP28 delegates are women, and of the 133 world leaders in attendance here at this summit, just 15 are women. So that shows the kind of extent of the challenge and how far away we still are. Stephanie, what are you kind of hoping to come out of this kind of COP28 discussion when it comes to those numbers and tackling them?
Honestly, the conversation around women inclusiveness, it has to just even go beyond the numbers that we represent. They need to look at the quality of their participation. So even if there are like a number of women, a greater number of women here, what is the quality of their participation here? Are they on the decision-making table? Are they at the leadership level? What is that kind of conversation? Are they in places where they impact the direct processes here? So those are the kind of quality questions that we need to be asking. We need to double the numbers. We need to multiply the numbers, actually, as a matter of fact. But we also need to look at the quality. So one of the main recommendations in the Care International report is the look at quality. The look at quality and the way people actually interact, the way women and girls are affected in the process, and how they interact on the leadership level of things. So they are leading things. They're not just joining, or they're just bringing them to the table because we are being some kind of tokenism, actually. No, we are not interested in that. We need them to be leading the process. We need to be leading the process because it affects us differently and affects us in ways that should ordinarily not affect people. But that is the truth of the matter. That is what is happening in fact. So we need to lead the discussions. We need to lead solutions. So those numbers are not some statistics that are in the air. They are practical problems that we need to solve, yes.
And so bringing that back round to where we're stood now, COP28, I think we're on day 5 of the summit, still a good few days to go. What would a good COP28 look like for you then from a policy perspective? Is there kind of one key announcement you're looking for, or a key framework or mechanism that you think would help with this particular conversation?
Well, concerning the gender initiatives, some of the funds that they have mentioned, we are looking that they do direct inclusion and allow access. First and foremost, let's just wind back. We started COP very strong with a loss and damage announcement and people donating to the fund and people giving out. The problem is the 100 billion fund we agreed on in 2009, have we done anything about that in adaptation? So there's all these pledges and these nice things to say, but where is the commitment? We need commitment. We need people to put the money where their mouth is. You say this, you're going to commit to this. The UK government, for instance, has committed 60 million euros, 40 in actual work and 20 for administrative work. So technically 40. what we need to see the money. Also, that's a very small amount of money. That's like a very minute amount in the scheme of things. Like, it's literally a drop in the ocean. Yes, we're not saying you're not doing good work. You're doing good work, but we need to double these things. We need to multiply these things because, again, we're running out of time. So I want to see an increase in financial commitments. I want to see actual commitments happening. So not some beautiful pledge from a government of sorts, that we want to hear them say, we have given, we have made direct transfers, we have actually done what we said we are going to do. And the gender initiative should not be a sideline thing. Oh, we have to consider gender. We don't want that anymore. We're tired. It has to be part of the process. We don't have time to be doing all that. There's no, the gimmicks, we can't do that. The politics. We understand that these things happen, but we need solutions. So we don't have time for these things. And we need access. People on the grassroots. So those are kind of the things that I'm expecting to happen at the end of COP. Like, we go beyond talking. Everybody's saying that. But I'm giving practical ways as which we want to go beyond talking. Commit, actually put money in these funds that you've made promises for. Double the amount, multiply the amounts. Also, don't let the gender initiative be some sideline thing. Let it be quality. Let women lead the initiatives. And yes, those on the grassroots levels, let them access this funding, including the process for accessing those funding initiatives, the knowledge base and the accessibility in terms of information and data that people on the grassroots level and in the language they understand. It means that they understand, break it down to their level, because they are there on the front lines. They are actually going through it and developing solutions on the local level as well. So these are the things I want to come out of COP.
Yeah, so less talk, more action effectively. And from a kind of business perspective then, our audience will be business leaders, sustainability, environmental professionals. This kind of interlink between climate action and gender equality, how can businesses kind of better understand and better harness that interlink and take actions that actually will drive positive change across both areas?
The thing about the private sector generally is they have the power of funding. So beyond government funding as part of things, the private sector is one of the power players. After all, the climate crisis, if you consider it, beyond governments, private sector people are a big player. They're the big players. The industries belong to private people. So businesses being part, green businesses being part, considering ESG mechanisms for those who are not necessarily part of it. So mainstreaming a lot of business activities through all of this and making them environmentally friendly, climate friendly, being conscious of it. And we're not talking greenwashing here. We're talking actual processes that affect businesses. It means that the whole scheme of things, the whole process is green. Like everything you're doing in that process is green. You don't also start and exclude women and think about it later.
Well, Stephanie, I could talk to you about this topic for a lot longer than we've got time for today. This isn't going to be the only conversation we have on the topic, I'm sure, here over the 2 weeks. Thank you so much for joining us. Plenty more conversations like this to happen. The sun is setting, but certainly not going to be setting on the conversations happening, I know, behind us and in the various rooms here on Finance and Gender Day. So thanks to everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you again very soon.